Greetings, vloggers, followers, and potters. Dustin here from Dustin's Dynasty with another edition of this week's vlog. Today, I'm coming to you on Sunday, which is not the normal day to do this, but I'm on holiday, and I thought I finally got recharged, and that's part of accepting what autistic burnout is. It's been a week. Last week was definitely a week. We had a robust week of activity. A lot of things going on, a lot of things with I had to do some community presentations, had to work, had to go to day program, had to go to therapy, all those things. And so, this weekend I took a little easy the last few days. Actually went to a fireworks display. That was actually, that's definitely something that it doesn't take a lot out of me, but it puts me behind because it's so late in the day, that getting back into rhythm takes a little bit of time. And actually having the desire to move forward is definitely one of those things that, it's hard sometimes. It's a struggle. You want to just lay around and feel sorry. No, I wouldn't say feel sorry for myself, because I didn't feel sorry for myself, but I would want to say the fact that I just didn't have the motivation to move. And throughout the day, I did get up at intervals and I did do things at intervals, but it wasn't very long intervals. And, not long enough to substantially stay, awake or afloat. I slept a good deal. I won't lie about that. But I think because, this month of June has been so busy with birthdays and things to do that, we just, it's just something that, it's just been a busy month. And I'm glad it's over. And I'm glad July is going. It's been a good July. We've had a very good summer, and one of the best I've had so far. Sometimes less is more. Sometimes it's good to have less. Sometimes it's good to, change your trajectory a little bit too, and do things that are, different or self-improving. But one of the things I did last night was I went to the fireworks display in our community, and I've been there before. It's been a few years since I've actually down where it happened, pretty right across the river, which is never. I did that in 2019, but I was very unwell at the time. And, I was prepared, and we parked far away and everything like that. So it was very, very well staged out, very well planned. The route to come home was planned. Just went perfect. For the most part, went very, very smooth, and without little hiccups or transition issues. I came home, I went to bed. I got up this morning, did, some things, and, I did fall asleep this afternoon. And I think that's part of the thing I have to understand as an autistic person, is the fact that, sometimes we get overwhelmed with the things in life. There is a desire to want to do things, but sometimes our body doesn't allow us to. Sometimes our body tells us to shut down for an extended period of time because we are just so worn out from the wear and tear of the everyday norm, that is expected of us, in the world. Ironically, today I actually went to the pizza shop and to the dollar store, both on separate trips. So that is a big, a big feat for me, because usually 9 chances out of 10 in the past 2.5 years that I've lived here, I've only left the house once in a day. There's been very rare occasions where I've left on my own to walk through the neighborhood more than once a day. So that's definitely a milestone, because, I would never normally, be one and done. And, I just wanted to get out of the house a little bit, I think. And I just decided, hey, what the heck? Let's just go to the dollar store and get some noodles, and let's get some soda. And wasn't even that I needed soda, but I just wanted to get out of the house a little bit and get for a walk. And I think that's, that is a milestone within itself. I think, there's just something, for making slow improvements as the day goes on. things are just getting so much better. And it's been about, I think we've said maybe 5 weeks, maybe, yeah, maybe a little more, with the medicine being changed and being better, and things are actually improving. And I'm really proud of that. The therapist is really proud of that. I'm very, very proud of how I've achieved things and how I'm able to do things and not be, I have my moments. I won't deny the fact of that. In fact, when I went to Walmart yesterday, I was a little irritated, maybe because of the extreme heat and mugginess. The weather doesn't play well in the Southwest Pennsylvania here. It's right now it's 15 to 9. It's 79 degrees, but it's been a hot day and it's been a hot week. We've had weather in the 80s all week, so it's been a little irritable and smuggy and sticky. And so it's been a little irritable, and it hasn't brought the best to me. And sometimes I don't have the patience when we go shopping, or when I'm doing something that I don't, it's not necessarily my preference that I want to do. And I'm not, that's not part of the agenda or part of the plan, or even part of what is expected. And it does throw me back a bit, and I will get irritable, and I see that I push that off a little bit onto my family, because it makes them irritable, and it puts them in a rush and a place that is just not where they want to be. So it kind of throws everybody off in a sense. So I think sometimes you have to have the drive to pull it together, for not only yourself, but for your family or those who care for you, because we all regulate on a lot of people who are autistic have those that care for them, and they often co-regulate or bounce off of each other. Likewise, if you have siblings in a household, the same can be had for that. Or you have other people, cohabitating. It can be a very, very ripple effect of a bounce. And so it's very, challenging when you have that, and the desire to actually get moving and do things that, may not be what are predicted or expected of you to do, or that may be something that you don't want to do as a person, and you only see one thing as an avenue, and you see only that, and you can only do that because that's what your mind has set you to do. And it's just not, sometimes it just doesn't happen that way. And it's hard to accept sometimes that you have to accept things for what they are, because that's what you're dependent on. It's not easy, and I probably regret some of the things I may have said, or may have acted in a silly, immature way as an adult, because I was not, helping the situation. Instead, I was impeding it, and that doesn't, that just makes things worse. Things, you have to know, your yes, I have to know my limitations and my boundaries. But with others, I also know that there has to be, or I'm in the care, or I'm in the realm of others, I have to understand that while there is a desire for me to do certain things, there is also expectations or understandings that have to be met, or that are expected, or behaviors that are expected to be adhered to, norms, what have you. It's not easy. It's not easy to have to, adhere to norms, or have expectations, but that's where masking comes in. And then when you are home or in your safe space, that is when you are free to let those transgressions out, act how you need, lay down, do whatever it is that you need to do, to get that feeling, or that channel, that expressiveness out of you. And, it's not easy, sometimes, to have that, to channel that feeling or channel that emotion that you are in, because you have to follow the expectation of something that you may not want, or that you may not agree with, or that, it's not what you want to do. And, if, sometimes you're not really, sometimes you have to see the whole picture of it. And that's sometimes how I've had to get through it, is I've had to see, well, this isn't just me. This isn't just what my close allies want. This is what everybody wants. And this is what that may work for this person or that person or that person. But I'm not seeing the whole situation. And I may not be able to see what the whole situation is, or may not be able to understand it. But at least I can, I have to learn to cope and hold myself together in that moment, in that place, to get through the things I need to get through, and not be upset, not be angry, not throw a meltdown, or become aggressive, verbally aggressive, because something didn't go the way I wanted to go, or something I may have to alter my plans, or I may have to do something different. The world is just so different these days. When we talk about, I think a lot of things, I believe, the pandemic taught a lot about the autistic community, is that that our routines are sometimes uprooted or disturbed, more than they've ever been, because there's a lot of things that just don't go according to plan, or don't go the way that they should for whatever reason. That was, there was a lot of changes during the pandemic. I was uprooted. I won't lie about it. I had a lot of situations, but the pandemic was one that geared it. But it taught me to be more resilient, and be more proactive about change and accepting it, and being more flexible, and being more understanding of when things cannot go the way that I want them to go. But nonetheless, that was a little bit about change. But that the change sometimes has the desire, and it has this effect, because if you fall asleep for a few hours because you're just so worn out, and that means your whole schedule is uprooted, and what you had planned to do, or what you had set for yourself, just can't happen the way it wanted to. You get angry, you get upset, you want to get angry, you want to say, oh, just forget it and don't do anything about it. But you have to be resilient, you have to pick up the pieces, you have to move on. It's just part of life. I wish, anybody, I know there's many on the spectrum who aren't at the understanding where I am with the flexibility piece, and having, the ability to be flexible with things. It's not easy. It hasn't came easy over the years. It's very challenging. I had a lot of trial and error. And even to this day, when things, even a few months ago, when I had my last meltdown, I think having to see things happen the way they did, and see me, realize how bad I got, made me see that I had to make a change for the better. But part of that is being more flexible, having more of that desire to actually give in and do things that, even as much as my body tells me no, or it seems easier to pass up on something, such as recording this video, that I just do it because it's expected. It's hard to get motivated. It's hard to get moving sometimes. There's times I just want to lay in bed and just sit there all day, or stay focused on YouTube and not get off. There's times it's even hard sometimes to sit at the computer anymore, but we just do it because it's what is expected. I feel, and it's what it's just part of, and you have to move around, you have to do something. You can't just sit there and let time pass. It's hard to let time pass, I think. It's hard to just, sit and watch time pass. It really is. It's easy when you sit and look at YouTube all day, or you don't do a lot, or you just sit and watch TV all day. It can be hard to just let time pass. Now, granted, I'm off. I've been off. This is the second day I'm off. I'll be off 2 more days. And I'm looking forward to making the 2 days better. I wouldn't say that the most 2 days were the greatest, but I got some things done, and I got to do some things, but I need to be better at it. I need to, keep moving and keep motivated and keep, things going before, I have to go back to the real world. It's not easy sometimes. It's easy to want to give up. It's easy to want to just crawl in a bed and just hide under the covers. It's easy to ignore things that need attention. It's easy to not take care of yourself. It's easy not to get in the shower. It's easy not to get dressed. It's easy not to do any of those things, but you have to do it. You have to have the desire and the want and the feel goodness of it. That's what I call it. The feel goodness of wanting to do these things, wanting to, move forward in life, to want to, have something. And I think that's what this vlog and the blog and everything that I do for this platform, it really gave me, a purpose in life, because 2020, it was not that I wasn't bored. I was living with my family, wasn't the most ideal situation. We were in a period of transition that wasn't going so well. And this was suggested to me. Well, not so much the vlog came a little later, but it eventually did evolve not too far away. But the writing became, and the newsletter and everything else came out of that. And there was just, eventually that all came out. But even as I moved into my own situation here through almost 2.5 years ago, and it seems like this is what keeps me going and keeps me, telling my story, is just, it's what it makes the time pass. It's one of many things that gives me a desire and a want to do the things that I want to do, and keep going and have that inspiration to write or do whatever it is that I do, because I need that. I need to have that purpose, that desire, and that want. It's like getting up every morning, and I'm one who gets up in the morning and I have to get a shower, because if I don't get a shower in the morning, then my day is basically kaput. It is not, it's hard to get back into that routine and hard to get back into that regimen of wanting to get in the shower, because I know if I don't get in the shower, my day is basically through the toilet. It's not going to be good. It's hard to get focused. Even a thing such as shaving, I'm doing better with it, and I've gotten to a routine with that. But like this week, that's another example. The shaver needed charged. I couldn't find. I dawdled all week to try to find the charger, and ironically, I did find it yesterday, and I did charge. So it was definitely a moving thing, and I did it. And there's things I need to do here on my time off, and I'm going to do that, because that's the desire of things. That's the want, the desire, the need, the understanding, that purpose in life that we all need to have. All right, I'm going to stop talking today, because I've been rambling and I feel like I've got my point across. So if you haven't already, be sure to like this video. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channels. To my new subscribers, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. We're at 55 subscribers. We're slowly gaining momentum, and I appreciate every one of you. Be sure to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram at Dustin's Dynasty, on the web at dustinsdynastyusa.com. And if you haven't already, followed my link tree at Dustin's Dynasty. I'm going to thank you again for listening, and be sure to have a good day, everyone. Take care of yourselves, stay safe out there, and we'll talk at you soon. Bye for now.